I used to think I was one of those people who could never be scared by real life. Movies, games, even haunted houses, nothing ever got under my skin. Until last winter. I had just moved into an old apartment building on the edge of town. It was cheap, too cheap, but I didn't ask questions. The landlord mentioned it used to be part of a hospital long ago before the war. I thought that was kind of cool, actually. The first night was quiet. Too quiet. No sounds from neighbors. No cars outside. Just the faint hum of the radiator and the ticking of a clock I didn't own. That's right. When I unpacked, I realized I didn't bring a clock. But every few minutes, I could hear it. Tick, tick, tick. It sounded like it was coming from behind the wall. I tried to ignore it. I put in my earbuds, played some music, and went to sleep. That's when it started. At around 3 in the morning, I woke up. Not suddenly, just this slow, heavy feeling of being pulled out of sleep. My room was pitch black, except for a small sliver of streetlight leaking through the curtains. And I wasn't alone. Someone was breathing in the room with me. You know that sound people make when they're trying not to breathe too loud? That soft, shaky inhale through the nose? I heard that, right next to my bed. At first, I thought it was my own breathing echoing somehow. But then I stopped breathing, and it kept going. Slow, trembling breaths. Right beside me. I didn't move, didn't even blink. My eyes were wide open, staring into the dark, trying to make out shapes. And then I saw it. A shadow taller than the doorframe, standing in the far corner of the room. Not moving, not breathing now, just watching. It felt like an eternity before the sun started to rise. As the light filled the room, the corner was empty. Nothing there. But the floor was wet. Like someone had stood there dripping water all night. I didn't sleep the next night. I kept all the lights on, the TV running, everything. And still, at 3:05 exactly, the lights flickered. The TV cut to static. And I heard that same breathing again. Only this time it was closer. I turned slowly toward the sound. There, standing beside my bed, was a figure. It looked like a person drowned long ago. Skin gray and bloated, clothes heavy with water, hair clinging to its face. His head tilted slightly, like it was curious. Then, in a voice that sounded like water gurgling down a drain, it said, "Why are you in my room?" I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. The air felt thick, like I was underwater too. The thing leaned closer until its face was inches from mine. Its eyes were hollow, empty sockets, dripping. And then it smiled. I must have blacked out because the next thing I remember, it was morning again. Everything was dry. The lights were back on. But there was one thing different. On the wall above my bed, in dark, wet streaks, someone had written, "You looked right at me." I moved out that same day. Didn't pack much, just enough to leave. But the worst part came later. Every night since then, at exactly 3:05, wherever I am, the lights flicker, and I hear that same slow breathing. Sometimes I wake up and there's condensation on the ceiling above my bed. Sometimes my phone camera opens by itself. And every now and then, I catch a glimpse of a tall, dark figure just outside the corner of the frame. I don't bother calling anyone anymore. No one believes this kind of thing until it's too late. But if you ever wake up around 3 a.m., and the air feels heavy, and you hear someone breathing who shouldn't be there, don't look toward it. Because once you see its face, it never stops watching you.